Already shaking that airplane out, and he's getting ready for his aerobatics. Upside down, a little push and a pull. That's the shakeout to make sure everything's where it ought to be and stays where it ought to stay. And he's happy with the airplane. Buck Reutemann, who's been flying for over 42 years, flying more than 155 different types of airplanes. Hours of flying time. Corporate flying too. He flies a business jet. One of his biggest customers is one of the Redneck comics, Ron White. And man, Buck's got stories, but of course, the discretion of the corporate pilot, you know. But you know they gotta be funny. He gets to the very top and runs out of energy because gravity starts to suck again. That's what it does. Down he comes. But on the way down, as the airspeed builds, he's going to flip that airplane over. Then work on getting it reconnected. Out on the outside snap rolls. That tries to push Buck right out of the cockpit. Not comfortable, as I described it to you this morning. Our pilot's in the negative G mode. Start to get all that violence. Start to bulge. It's very uncomfortable, but it talks to the fitness. Around this time of the season, they're at peak performance, building up their tolerance to these Gs. Toppling that airplane round and round and round. Cracks the nuts. But he loves it. He's smiling from ear to ear. Buck Reutemann all the way from Georgia. Now notice at center field, you have the ribbon now. It's being held up, but it sags just a little bit. The poles are 20 feet. Remember, the airplane's about 17 feet square. That's all he has to play with. He's going to turn inverted, but he's got to get a closer look at it all first and get used to the winds today and get his situational awareness sharp as he can. So he's going to drop down now and take a closer look. But the forever showman decides at the very top where you get the least amount of energy to add a snap roll on this big loop as he sizes it up some more. Back up for some more aerobatics now as he gets back up into this airplane called a Pit Special. Designed and built, purpose-built to win world championships. Curtis Pitt, great American success story. And this is an incredibly agile, powerful, and yet light aerobatic airplane. Fabric, woods, metal in it, about 300 horsepower of engine, and just a delight to fly. Now I think he's going to take an even closer look this time at the ribbons. You see his wife, Candace. Doug's wife is Kim. She had a birthday yesterday. I gotta get all these families straight in my mind. Now he does a slow roll. Some of the easiest looking maneuvers are the hardest to do. Why? Well, because as that airplane is rolling in the it produces drag. It starts to slow the airplane down. And when that happens, the airplane wants to lose altitude. So he's got to pitch the nose up when he begins that maneuver. And he's got to know that he's got to end it on the opposite side with the same amount, just to keep it nice and precise, the same amount of spacing from the ground. So he starts it precisely on the roll. All that to say, while that may have looked like the easiest maneuver of the day, it was quite difficult. And continuing to roll that pins now, one way and then the other. And now why? Because he wants to flip it end over end. Constantly managing that energy to not only get it up and down and be able to finish some of these maneuvers, but also to be able to twist it one side and then to the other. Why? Because he knows that momentum, that energy is going to carry the tail up over the front of the airplane and flip it end over end. So he rolls at the top now. You can see the energy's gone. Then it starts to build up again as he drops down. Gravity's helping here in that big engine. Ribbon that he wants to sever inverted. Lining it up. As he takes towards show center. Believe me, he's looking at it. He's sizing the situation up, getting used to how things look with that airspeed. The very top now, he's out of energy again. Doesn't give up, just lets it flip-flop down, and then quickly reconnects, and now takes another good look at that ribbon. The aerobatic maneuvers never stop. They're connected, one right after the other. Rusty car, so that he knows where he's going. He's concentrating, he's multitasking, he's staying out ahead of the airplane as he rolls and sets up, and now he's going to come down and take, I think, a real serious look at that ribbon. So he's been up high for a while, he's got to get down low, and everything moves a lot faster when you come down low. So he's going to get down really low. Why? Because that's only 20 feet off the ground in front of him. So he's dropping down, he's getting used to the speed, he's staying right side up to take a close look. What's he doing? He flew under it. He actually flew under the ribbon to take a closer look. He's looking back over his shoulder too. He wants to set this thing up right. As he gets turned around now, he's doing a double hammerhead, letting that airplane come all the way through again on the way down. He's set up, and I think this time he's going to mean business. Moving on him pretty fast. Outstanding. And a big special. Got it on the first attempt, and I some of the knocking you may have heard was their knees shaking. You have no idea what that looks like, because that airplane's coming at you with that big angry propeller just a few feet away, and he nails it. Shuts out the power off, the smoke to push over like an astronaut, just floats a little zero G across the top as he gets ready now to not land. He wants to take on the jet truck. Dropping down to the right now. No intentions to it. And a great look at that. Beautiful. It's special. As he flies down the line now, he's going to get somebody's people. I think he's going to try and get in.